Hi, I'm Prerna Lidhu and you're watching Business Today. And today, the day is here when the much awaited Punch.ev is on the market. And we have with us Mr. Shailesh Chandra, who's the MD of the company. And we can't wait to hear from him the kind of specifications, features, and the new technology that the car has brought in. And sir, tell me something. This has launched at a starting price of 10.99 lakhs. What was the pricing strategy and the thought process behind it?
See, we had two products in the EV portfolio which were on two different extremes, right? One was Tiago EV, which starts at 8.69 lakhs and then goes up to 12 lakhs. And then on the other hand, you had an Nexon EV, which starts at roughly 15 lakh, goes up to 20 lakh. So we had to position Punch one in between these two price points. But more importantly, since this is the first pure EV on the active architecture that we are launching, it gave us the flexibility of giving a 400 plus kilometer range. Therefore, giving an opportunity of bringing a 400 plus kilometer car at less than 13 lakh. Such cars are available today in the market only above 17 lakh. So therefore, it was priced to one, give option to two kind of buyers. One who want to primarily use this in the city. So therefore, you gave the base range, which was about 315 kilometers. Whereas those customers who want to have the full freedom of not only using it for their daily commute, but also have the freedom for going for outdoorsy experience, etc. So therefore, we gave the price points in a manner that can bring new set of customers, especially the young buyers, right, who are tech savvy. And we took special care that it meets the lifestyle requirement, because these young tech savvy customers have a very gadgetry lifestyle. And therefore, you'll see the whole design language experience is very gadgetry and coming at a price point which is at the sweet spot of what these customers desire. So that has been the idea behind the conceptualization of the product, at the same time the pricing.
And you're confident that this will not eat into the market share of either Nexon or Tiago. How would you ensure that?
See, there is, some level of cannibalization is okay, because that only helps a customer decide between two options, right? But given that these are starkly different price points, different size of vehicles, different body style, where you can say Tiago EV and Punch EV will have some level of cannibalization. But then Punch also offers a 421 kilometer range. A hatch lover only likes hatches, right? But an SUV lover loves only SUVs. So therefore, I feel that there will be very less cannibalization. From a price perspective also, there is enough of difference that you see.
And the new active platform, this is the first car on that platform. Give us a bit of, tell our viewers what are these new features that we can expect from this new platform, and what are the other launches we can expect from this platform.
So Active is a first pure EV architecture. If I start explaining technically, it will become very complex for the customers. But let me, in a very simple terms, uh, convey that a pure EV architecture does what and what benefit it gives. First benefit it gives is that it gives you the ability to package more battery cells, and therefore higher range vehicle you can give for a smaller footprint car also. So that is what you are seeing in Punch EV. That is the first benefit that you give. Overall weight and cost efficiencies increase. So you would have seen that for a 400 plus kilometer car, you had to give a 40 kilowatt hour battery pack. Also, there's a weight factor for Nexon, but here you have been able to deliver at a 35 kilowatt hour. Then you are able to give more spaces, because there are lesser component in a dedicated architecture. You have opportunity to give more spaces now, because it is not constrained with also the ICE engine part.
This
So therefore,
has an extra space on the
yes, so
front.
you have frunk and all these kind of spaces that you can bring. So this is what active EV architecture is. Of course, it is a 4-layer thing, where it is also about connectivity features which become different. You are able to give higher charge rates, in terms of speed at which it can charge, and it can come with multiple body styles. In future, you will see multiple products coming out of this architecture, uh, different length and different shapes and different sizes.
And also your newly launched EV only dealerships. How has the response been on that, and how do you plan to grow that? What is the network expansion going to be like?
Yeah, I mean, whatever initial feedback we have got, because the stores formally opened on 7th Jan, I keep getting the feedback. I keep reading about the reviews that people are posting. Uh, One thing that everyone says is that this is first of its kind in the auto industry, and it's the experience is that it's not a forced selling that happens there. Customers are left first to themselves to experience, because a lot of information is available by just walking around. But there are it's so therefore it is very experience focused. Lot of tech, right? Lot of sustainability that you see, use of material and all that you see. A lot of community building events also are being done there. So basis that, I think the response is really good. Now with the new product also coming in, I think the outlets will be selling also more. You have a dedicated service also with the Tata.ev showrooms with service center also. So I think the initial response is very good.
So you've gotten over the initial challenges of, that behavior change that sort of has to take a leap. So going forward, has the customer changed? Has the customer become more open for EVs? Obviously, you're practically the market with Nexon ruling the charts. What is the expectation like for this product? Is there any, like, you're obviously into the volume game, so any volume benchmarks that you might have set for the company?
See, customer profile is definitely changing, right? And it is changing because, one, you are moving from early adopter to early majority. So a lot of fence sitters, who wanted more comfort in terms of the assurance on technology, whether it works practically or not, which an early adopter still takes a risk. You are seeing those kind of customers also coming to your fold. We have also expanded to tier 2, tier 3 cities in the last few years. So the profile and distribution of customers in different tier of cities has also changed, right? You are also seeing more younger customers now coming, more women buyers coming with launch of products like Tiago EV and now Punch EV. With Punch EV, you will see a very different profile now coming, because a lot of youngsters, who could be the late adopters or late majority, they would come forward because now they are getting a complete vehicle with a 400 plus kilometer range at a 13 lakh price point. So they would be really thrilled to have this car, not only because it is an EV, but the features that you get in this size of a car, you would see only in a high SUV, for example. A 360-degree camera, ESP, and so many features that you see here is only seen in 2 segment above. Because of this reason, I think there will be a lot of new customers which are going to come. From a volume perspective, I feel that we have seen every EV that we launched in a certain product category, you see a penetration of about 15 to 20% at the current stage of charging infra. And it keeps growing. Next one, for example, when we launched, we had started with 300, 400 numbers. It peaked at 3,000 numbers. I have only seen Tiago as an exception, where you saw 30% of the sales started happening on EVs. But it stabilizes at around 20%. So I'm anticipating that 20% of the sales should be the number that at a steady state we will see. Initially, there can be a surge and all. And then it can keep growing with the growing comfort on charging infra and all.
And what would be like your overall outlook for the EV industry penetration, given the current charging infrastructure that there already is, say 2024, and in the near term, what could you see that, the penetration could be like, and would it surpass expectations?
See, EV penetration at an industry level would be about 2.5%. I think in the next 2 years, with more launches coming in, you should start seeing moving to 6-7%. And by the end of the decade, you can still see 25-30% happening. I also believe that charging infra in the next 2 years is going to come in a big way. Second, I believe that the driving range of products are increasing. The next set of launches that we are going to do will even have products beyond 500 kilometers.
Lifestyle
range.
category and
Yeah, so therefore charging infra concerns, range anxiety will be further addressed, right? So there will be a steeper offtake, I would say starting 2024, second half onwards, and when 2025 there are many new launches which industry will see. So I believe that penetration should keep increasing for us. It is about 12 to 15% as of now. Next 3 years, 4 years, we should target 25 to 30%. by 2030, our aspiration would be that 50% we should be selling EVs.
Got it. Interesting. Lastly, I wanted to understand for our viewers, there's still an apprehension in the industry, like you said, 2 to 3%. Still, it's not. It's obviously not growing as at par with the other global markets, and obviously India has its own challenges. But because the main challenge still remains that the charging network and even the current that's still coming from thermal sources. So a lot of people have this apprehension and confusion that how is it still clean energy? So would you like to sort of debunk that and address that, and so that it helps better penetration of EVs in the future?
Yeah, I'll definitely like to debunk that. One, that even say it is 75-25% is the grid mix of thermal versus renewable energy. That's the grid mix, by the way. And I'm coming to what is the real mix. Even at, if you consider that kind of a mix, an EV will be better from well to wheel as compared to any other technology. Number one. Number two, there are two very high selling states, Gujarat and Rajasthan. We have gone and met the customers, we have seen the data. 45% of our customers in these states already have a solar rooftop, which they are using to charge their EVs. At a pan-India level, when we did a survey of about 85,000 customers, we saw 25% of our electric vehicle buyers, are already using solar rooftop. And 95% of the times people are charging at home. Now when you do the arithmetics, this, even if 75% is at a grid level, which means my cars are actually using 44% renewable as of today. Let's imagine this has happened without any effort. This is a natural solar adoption that has happened in two big states, Gujarat and Rajasthan. And when you take a concerted effort with policy support, let's take, for example, next 3 years, we take a 40% target. You will see renewable mix increasing to 60% plus. If you take target of 70% by the end of the decade, your renewable mix would change to 90% plus, which is very different than how the grid is going to come.
Correct.
This is how the pathway for electric vehicles should be. And this is the mission. In any case, Prime Minister wants the country to, use solar energy. All the tier 2, tier 3 cities where you have individual bungalows, you can easily do that. And there is where the demand is. Tiago EV, for example, only 20% of our vehicles get sold in tier 1 towns. 80% is already. And as we are expanding in across the country, this is only going to go big. So there's a very different pathway for the mix of renewable for an EV versus what is happening at a country level.
Yeah.
So that's what I would like to say.
And even with this, do you expect a lot more tier 2, tier 3 penetration, or it's mostly a metro vehicle for now?
Tier 2, tier 3 penetration will also increase. Metro remain a very high TIV for the entire industry. So there the adoption in any case will happen. But maybe in tier 2, tier 1 cities, it will be a second or a third car application. But in tier 2, tier 3, it will be the primary vehicle.
All right. All the best and congratulations on a blockbuster launch. We'll see you around with many new launches, hopefully. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.